Hey everyone, welcome to Azuria Plays. My name is AJ, and today we are showcasing the final few battles of my Valentines special, where we are battling against Hezz, who some of you might recognise from the Trick or Treat Halloween special. For the first couple of battles, our team is the same as it was when we battled Arya in the previous episode, with a Clefairy, Gyarados, Blaziken, Scissor, Lurantis, and Alcremie. So let's head straight into battle number 1. Hess starts off with a Chansey and Toxapex, as we start off with the tried and tested combo of Gyarados and Clefairy. If you have watched the previous 2 videos, I'm sure you know the score by now, as Clefairy uses Follow Me, while Gyarados goes for a Dragon Dance to boost his stats. Chansey then uses Attract on Clefairy, which could pose a problem, but we will deal with that when it comes up. Toxapex then sets up a layer of spikes to end the turn. Not wanting to give Hezz a chance to make any headway, I utilise the forces contained within my Dynamax band, forcing the Power Spot to flare into action, and infuse Gyarados with the power of Dynamax. Clefairy is then immobilised by Love, preventing a Follow Me, but Gyarados lets off a Max Airstream that rages across the battlefield, blasting Chansey away while netting a speed boost for her team. As Chansey was felled by Gyarados, his Moxie ability kicks in, netting him an attack boost, making him even more devastating as Toxapex sets up a second layer of toxic spikes. Hezz then sends out his Scissor, and this will likely spell the end for Clefairy, as he also goes for a Dynamax of his Toxapex. The twin powers of Steel and Poison are almost certainly too much for Clefairy to take, as he is weak to both of them. But nonetheless, he uses Follow Me to keep Gyarados safe. Scissor then rushes forward with a Bullet Punch, stripping more than half of Clefairy's HP away, as Gyarados counters with another Max Airstream. This time the barrage of winds cuts into Toxapex, but it deals far less damage than I had hoped, as the Bunker Pokemon then launches a max move of her own, Max Ooze. The poisonous liquid rises up from below our Moon Fairy, stripping him of his remaining HP, which prevents us from redirecting any more attacks, but I think the damage has already been done, as Gyarados has increased his stats already. I send out Blaziken, who gets badly poisoned upon entry, but that's not going to slow us down. The Max Guard from Toxapex will, however, as it redirects Gyarados' Max Airstream, preventing us from dealing any damage. Scissor, however, has no such luck, as the Flare Blitz from Blaziken incinerates the Steel Bug where it stands, netting us another KO. Poor Blaziken, however, takes a ton of damage from recoil before losing even more HP to the Poison and Life Orb. Quagsire joins the battle as Gyarados bounces up into the sky, as I didn't want to risk him taking a max move to the face. Blaziken then rushes forward before initiating some close combat with Quagsire, who holds on in the red, before a Max Geyser sweeps across the field, taking Blaziken down and setting up the rain. Quagsire's yawn then fails to affect Gyarados, who is currently somewhere. I send out my own Scissor, and Steel typing prevents him from getting poisoned on entry, as he launches a Quick Attack to take down Quagsire straight off the bat. Gyarados then comes flying down from above, but it seems his aim is a little off, as he misses his target, but then goes for a recover, restoring herself to full HP. It seems Hezz and I have a similar taste in Pokemon, as he then sends out his own Blaziken, but he doesn't stand much of a chance. A single Waterfall from Gyarados quickly washes him off the field, further raising Gyarados' attack stat through Moxie. This ability really is terrifying once it gets going. Scissor then uses Swords Dance, doubling his attack stat, but unfortunately, the following Scald from Toxapex nets a burn, reducing his attack down to its base level. Not exactly ideal. Slowbro then joins the battle, and we are left with a 4-on-2. Scissor bullet punches Slowbro, which deals just under half his health and damage, as Gyarados goes for an Outrage, taking Toxapex down below half. But the following Scald finishes off Scissor, leaving us with 3 Pokemon, 2 of which have no chance against the 2 opposing poison types. Matters are made worse when Slowbro goes for a Heal Pulse, restoring Toxapex HP. I send out Lurantis, who gets poisoned on entry, as Outrage weakens Toxapex, taking her back down into one-shot range. She then fires off a Sludge Bomb at Lurantis, taking her down into the yellow, but before Slowbro can finish her off, she uses Defog to remove the toxic spikes from the field, allowing us to bring out Alcremie free of poison. Slowbro's Quick Draw lets it act first, as its Shell Side Arm chips away most of Alcremie's HP, but it's too little too late, as Outrage takes down Toxapex, leaving the path to victory wide open. Gyarados becomes confused thanks to Outrage, but as Lumberry quickly snaps him out of it, as Alcremie uses Decorate to boost her Water Dragon's attack even further. Talk about overkill. One final Waterfall finishes off Slowbro, netting us the win. And that was actually a pretty close battle. A couple of mistakes could easily have cost us the match there. Time for round 2. Or so I thought. During the team selection, I accidentally only picked 5 Pokemon. And Hezz was ecstatic as he thought he was going to stomp me while I was a man down. But it turns out he only selected 2 Pokemon himself. Smooth. Real smooth. Let's try that one again. Time for round 2. Chansey and Vaporeon enter the battle on Hezz side, and I send out Gyarados and Blaziken. Yeah, you heard me right. Blaziken, not Clefairy. Crazy, I know. A turn 1 Dynamax lets us fire off a Max Airstream, taking Vaporeon down into the red, leaving her able to strike down Blaziken. Except, having predicted that we would nab the KO, our trusty Fire Chicken uses Rock Slide, taking down Vaporeon while weakening Chansey in the process. Chansey then uses Attract and Gyarados falls under her spell. Hezz then sends out his own Gyarados, which, unlike ours, has the Intimidate ability to lower our attack. He immediately calls for a Dynamax of his own, and it's Giant Sea Snake versus Giant Sea Snake. Who will win? Thanks to Speed Boost, Blaziken is now the fastest Pokemon on the field, and a close combat takes down Chansey, freeing Gyarados from her womanly charms. The Gyarados uses a Max Whirlwind to deal surprisingly little damage, while their foe uses a Max Airstream to obliterate Blaziken while netting himself a Speed Boost. I send out Alcremie, as Hezz sends out his Blaziken, and now it's time for Alcremie to work her magic. Blaziken goes for Protect, shielding himself from the majority of damaging moves, but our Max Airstream breaks through his barrier, taking him down to around 2/3 health. Hezz then counters with the exact same move, but our Gyarados tanks the hit with ease, before Alcremie decorates her Sea Beast, raising his attack. And you're in trouble now, Blaziken. Waterfall wipes out Blaziken in one swift strike, netting another Moxie boost as we tank another Max Airstream with ease. This allows Alcremie to decorate Gyarados once more, boosting his colossal strength even further. Miltank then joins the battle as we swap Alcremie for Clefairy to provide some protection for Gyarados, who's starting to lose just a little bit too much health for my liking. Outrage then obliterates the poor Miltank before she can even find her footing, as the incoming Crunch is weakened by Friend Guard. Buzzwole then joins the battle, but it's currently a 5-on-2, and our Gyarados is showing no signs of slowing down. Clefairy goes for a Follow Me as Outrage strikes down the opposing Gyarados, who is surprisingly holding a Rocky Helmet, which chips away some of her HP and leaves Gyarados with just 25 hit points. Dynamic Punch then confuses Clefairy, but that's not really an issue. Outrage finishes off the battle, leaving us with 2 official wins over Hezz, 3 if you want to count the cancelled battle where it was a 5-on-2. While Gyarados has definitely carried us to victory in basically every match we've won, I decided to switch up the team for the final battle. Gyarados, Blaziken and Alchemy have all earned a nice rest, so while they are sent off to chill at the beach, I bring Hatterene back for a chance at redemption and add Hawlucha and Clawitzer to the team. We then head back to the arena for one final Valentines themed battle. Let's do this. Hess starts off with Toxapex and Chansey, and I start off with Clefairy and a Hatterene. Clefairy's back to his old tricks and starts off with Follow Me, which partially backfires as he draws a Thunder Wave that Hatterene could have directed back to Chansey with Magic Bounce. Toxapex, however, then tries to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes, but Magic Bounce fires him right back at her opponent as Hatterene sets up a Trick Room, reversing the speed priority. Time to bring the pain. The Power Spot once again flares to life, filling the arena with Dynamax energy, which we infuse into the Dynamax band. Hatterene then uses this power to change her size and form as she unleashes her Gigantamax. Clefairy then uses Helping Hand, boosting Hatterene's power even further as Toxapex goes for a Baneful Bunker to try and protect itself. But the force of Max Mindstorm blasts through the protective aura, taking Toxapex down into the yellow, leaving her no chance of surviving another blow. Chansey then wastes a turn with a Soft Boiled, as Hezz must have thought Chansey was in the firing line. Clefairy kicks off the following turn with a Cosmic Power, raising both his defense stats, before another Max Mindstorm from the Witch Queen absolutely destroys Toxapex. Chansey then goes for another Thunder Wave, but Magic Bounce once again kicks in and she ends up paralysing herself instead. Clefairy succumbs to the paralysis as Chansey uses Heal Pulse and Scissor. Now this would have been a good move, but the paralysis let Chansey act before Hatterene. And, even if she didn't, the Max Flare Hatterene fires towards Scissor, instantly cremates him on the spot, so there wouldn't have been anything left to heal anyway. With her Dynamax now over, Miltank joins the battle, as Clefairy gives a helping hand to Gyarados 2.0, aka Hatterene. Hezz falls into the same mistake as last time, trying to get off a Heal Pulse, which ultimately fails, before an Expanding Force takes down Miltank and weakens Chansey significantly. Blaziken joins the battle, and I unfortunately didn't notice that Trick Room had ended, as Clefairy goes for another helping hand rather than a Follow Me. Luckily, Hatterene manages to tank the incoming Max Flare, surviving with just 43 HP, before she counters with an Expanding Force, taking down Blaziken and leaving Chansey in yellow health. She doesn't stay there for long though, as a Soft Boiled quickly tops her back up to almost full HP. Hezz then sends out his final Pokemon, Scolipede. Clefairy draws all attention his way with another Follow Me, and the incoming X-Scissor deals very little damage. Chansey then heals back to full as we set up another Trick Room, another Follow Me Expanding Force combo takes down Scolipede, and all that's left is Chansey. Now, if you've been paying attention to Chansey in the last few matches, you'll have picked up on the issue that's now affecting Hezz. We have seen Chansey use Thunder Wave to paralyse her team, Soft Boiled and Heal Pulse to heal itself or an ally respectively, and it's also used Attract a couple of times to try and woo my teammates. Spot the issue? Not one of those moves can deal any damage. So this is now just a battle of attrition as we slowly chip away at Chansey's HP and the PP of our healing moves. But as a special sponge, Chansey won't be falling to Hatterene anytime soon. But after juggling her Pokemon about, just so everyone gets some time in the limelight, Lurantis finishes off Chansey with a superpower, winning us our final match. Our team did not bad there, as Hatterene and Clefairy made for a devastating combo that allowed our Witch to sweep aside the opposition relatively unhindered. I also managed to learn that Magic Bounce actually works on Heal Pulse and reflects it back onto the Pokemon that used it, which was an interesting discovery for me, as it gives a way for heal pulse to be used to heal yourself. As with the previous battles, give it up for our opponent and put up a good fight, and show some appreciation for him down in the comments. That's it for this video, but it would be great if you could check out some of my other videos, such as the ones that are currently on screen. As usual, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.